welcome to another episode of the Mindful Introvert podcast. I'm Joanna and I'm your host, and I do a lot of mindfulness practices with guided meditations, and I also do some more chatty episodes on various topics such as anxiety, stress, perfectionism, and some other experiences of my life. And so if you enjoy these chatty episodes and you would like to learn more about how to let go of intrusive thoughts that are not really serving you, then keep on listening. So, the power of letting go. Why is it important to let go of our intrusive thoughts? Well, usually it's because they cause us anxiety, right? And they come up on the least desirable moments when we want to rest, when we want to go to sleep and have a restful night, and those intrusive thoughts just pop up in our mind and just say, I'm here, pay attention to me. When you're having your shower, there you are, just washing your hair, minding your business, and then this intrusive thought just pops up and you bring all of your worries for the day into your shower, and you end up not enjoying your shower and becoming very resentful of that moment. And a lot of situations that a lot of intrusive thoughts come up as well when we're in traffic, when we have a very tiring day at work. Sometimes when we start doubting ourselves, am I good enough? Is this the right thing to do? Should I just stop doing it altogether? So sometimes I do have a lot of these intrusive thoughts, especially when I think about actually pursuing my coaching business, because I have these thoughts that, am I really good enough to coach people? Am I really good enough to get results for all of my clients? Should I continue doing this? Should I continue putting the effort that it is a lot of effort that I take of my day to create the video lessons, the worksheets, actually think and structure the coaching sessions, and then actually spending the time to have the coaching sessions, and all of the admin that goes behind it, and all of it, all of the softwares and all of the back end stuff that needs to be done in order to manage a business. And I'm doing that as a side hustle, so I feel imposter syndrome. So the idea of feeling like a fraud, or feeling like we are not good enough, and being afraid of being discovered as an actual fraud, um, and that comes up to me quite a lot, and it comes up to me more when I'm tired, or I'm hungry, or something is not balanced. And balance is something that is extremely important in our life, for everything. Our mental and spiritual and physical situation needs to, like I say, it's always something that it comes up. It's always an email or something. When I'm recording, I never get anything, and then all of a sudden I get notifications, whatever. I was saying balance is very important. In our physical aspect, our body is very susceptible to changes, and so we have this homeostasis situation where the body regulates itself to maintain the balance in the hormones, in the bloodstream, everything, right? And so our body does it to itself just to regenerate and maintain balance when something is out of balance. And with our mind, sometimes it's difficult to do it when we are not aware of what goes on in our mind. And I feel like sometimes, even when we are aware of what goes on in our mind, it's difficult to do, and it's challenging, and it's not comfortable. And that's when we stop. We give up and we hold back on our potential, because it's just energy that we're not ready to really commit to spending. It's challenging. It's a scary situation to go into the unknown. And I have all of these fears and doubts about myself. And on my lowest points, I think of giving up. But what has really helped me, and this is something that I developed maybe 4 months ago, and I was reading all of these books. I was working with my coach, and she was mentioning, because we were talking about my inner dialogue and all of this imposter syndrome situation that I was having of feeling not good enough. And I remember that at that time, it's so funny how we evolve, because at that time, like 5 months ago, my biggest struggle was to appear on social media, was to appear on camera, and all of that. And just last week or 2 weeks ago, can't remember, I did 4 lives on Instagram. I keep doing stories on Instagram. So yeah, I'm even considering creating a YouTube channel. So if that's something that you would find useful, with just, again, these chatty episodes and just chat about life and give my perspective on a lot of topics, and also do guided meditations. If that is something that you would benefit from, just come and DM me, tell me that you're supporting me in creating a YouTube channel. And yeah, just come to my Instagram. I'll leave the link in my show notes. And yeah, so that at that time was my struggle. And it's funny that my struggle now is other things, and our struggles will always seem to be the worst at that given time. So it's important to look back sometimes. I don't mean compare to other people, but compare to yourself and compare to your own growth. Where were you 5 months ago? Where were you 1 year ago? And so compare what you've evolved from that time, instead of comparing to other people that you know nothing about their lives. So yeah, that would be one thing that I would say has helped me. And she was talking about, my coach, she was talking about how we could deal with my inner dialogue. And she asked me how the voice was. And she said to just change the pitch of the noise, basically, of how my voice sounded inside my head. And so I started to talk like this in my head. And obviously that makes it ridiculous, and you don't give as much importance to what your inner dialogue is saying. And remember that what you tell yourself is not who you are. It can be, if you believe it. So if you believe that you're not good enough, if you believe that you should give up, that is going to become a reality. But if you understand that you are having these intrusive thoughts, and they are there to protect you, but they are there also to show you that you can create your own reality, and you can choose to believe your thoughts, and you can choose to believe whatever you want to. And if it's something that your mind is not telling you, you can create that thought for yourself. And so it's important to understand that sometimes our brain lies to us and says stuff that our ego is just trying to keep alive, basically. And that can be very dangerous when we start believing. And so, yeah, we were talking about inner dialogue and how to change the pitch and the volume and just the speed. Sometimes when we speak to ourselves, we speak very um, loudly sometimes, or very harsh, very beating ourselves up kind of way. And if we maybe say the same things, maybe say I'm not good enough, but say it in a kind way, the congruency won't be there. So your brain will say, that's weird. I don't know if that makes sense. So I don't know if I really believe it. So yeah, you start to reprogram your mind that way. And oh my God, I love this to say that when I was working with my coach, just go around and never get to the point, right? I think you've understood that about me. So what I meant to say was that my inner voice, my inner dialogue, I've named her. So her name is Georgina, and I've named her a just weird name. I'm sorry if your name is Georgina, by the way. To me, it sounds funny, so that's why I talk to Georgina and I say, when I understand, it becomes my to my conscious level that I'm having these intrusive thoughts. I calm down and I say, Georgina, everything is okay. You are safe. You are grateful. You are kind. You can do this. Keep on going. This is just a bad moment. It will pass. It's temporary. You will get through this and you sleep on it and then remember what motivation you had to do it. So just push through. Understand that it is okay to have these low moments, because again, life is a balance. So you cannot have just high, cannot have just low. You have a balance, and you cannot just have neutral, because that's just boring life, right? So you have some lows, you have some highs, and that's what keeps it interesting and keeps it balanced. So yeah, I talk to Georgina all the time, and this can be a bit triggering for borderline disorders. So because we are dissociating, this is just a technique to dissociate the inner thoughts of the ego from ourselves at that given time. And so that can be a little bit triggering for people with borderline personality disorders. But those people, I'm assuming, are being seen by a clinician, by a doctor. So they should be receiving some guidance. So yeah, I would say maybe try it out. Give a name to your inner consciousness. I would say inner voice, inner dialogue. And whenever I have these voices, I just say to myself, Georgina, calm down. I'm your friend. I'm here with you. We're going to go through this. Before just recording this episode, I was feeling so bad because I didn't have the greatest day, and I'm just so tired. And that's a story for another episode. What happened today that is just so real, just completely movie-like. At least to me it is, and maybe I'll tell it another time. And I'm really tired, and I was feeling resentful. I don't know even why. I was feeling very stressed. My whole body was tense, and I was hungry as well. And so I was feeling crap for the whole day, or at least the whole afternoon. And then I was resisting it. And then it was only when I understood that I was having these thoughts and that I was feeling this way, and that it was my power to change it, because it's always our power, in our power, and it's our responsibility to change how we feel about things, to change our mind and how we process the experiences we go through. So I regained control, I empower myself and said, okay, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. I'm feeling all of this, I'm going to meditate. So I did a 5-minute meditation, literally a 5-minute, one of my own, actually. Oh, it's so funny because I do these meditations listening to myself. It's just so weird for some people, and I think it's weird for me, but somehow it's myself talking to my subconscious mind. So I think that works the best, right? So maybe that's a new technique for you as well. Read a meditation script and just record it on your phone. And when you're feeling stressed, listen to it, and probably you'll feel much better. So yeah, I did a 5-minute meditation. I understood what I was feeling exactly. I named it. And then I felt much better, much more relaxed, and even inspired to do this podcast episode, because I wasn't going to record today. I was going to record it later tomorrow or something, because I wasn't feeling inspired, or I didn't know what to talk about. And I feel like this topic makes perfect sense, because the cause of anxiety is resistance. And that resistance comes from fear. And that fear, all of these processes are subconscious, unconscious levels that we are not aware of. Most people are not aware of. And that is where I come in, and I just make you understand, bring it to clarity, bring it to awareness. And when you do that, you just empower yourself so much, because you are capable of changing the way you're thinking. You are literally capable of reprogramming what you think and how you experience things. And this is what makes it or break it. So I feel like, yeah, the cause of anxiety being all of this resistance, I felt like today's episode had to be about letting go and how it can really release you all of that anxiety. Because to me, anxiety and stress is being tense, and actually tense in your body. Your muscles are tense. You're just on hold for something, because anxiety, opposite to depression, anxiety is being focused on the future, right? So being always fearful of the future, doubtful, worrying about the future. How is it going to be tomorrow? How is it going to be in a few hours? And you're never living in the present. Never, never, never. Your body obviously is living in the present as you go on about your day, but your mind is elsewhere, is in the future. You're in the shower thinking about you have to say to your boss tomorrow. You're sleeping and you're thinking what you're going to have for breakfast tomorrow, or what you're going to wear, or I don't know, even these other things that you need to do, what important tasks that you need to do. And you're thinking about it the way before. And that is not just the problem, because you could plan before. And the thing is, with anxiety, you worry. That's the worry that comes in place. And you are attaching to the future a lot of things, most of it fear of the unknown, of not really, because obviously when you don't know what is going to happen, you are not in control. And control is a very subjective thing, and it's a lie. Control is a lie, because you don't control anything. We have a perceived sense of control, but in reality we don't control anything. You can be the fittest person, you can eat the most healthy But if you go outside and a truck hits you, you're going to die anyway. So we don't have this sense of control exactly as it is, because it's just an illusion. And so when you don't have that control over what is going to happen, we become anxious. And that anxiety can be a one-time thing, in the sense that maybe you have a panic attack or you have a moment of anxiety, or it can become more and more common in your life. And this is where I think resistance comes in. Resistance plays a great part in anxiety, because you know that you are feeling anxious, and you know that you don't want to feel that way. And by telling yourself, I don't want to feel this way, I want it just to stop, you're perpetuating it, and you are just focusing on that instead of how you want to feel and what you need to focus in order to feel that way. And so that resistance comes in very different ways. Procrastinating is a form of resistance, resisting what you have to do, resisting the emotions that you have to experience and go through once you stop procrastinating. Perfectionism, all of that, it's resistance. Perfectionism being the resistance of not letting go of control of anything, and not letting go of perfection. So always seeking perfection and moving away from failure. And resistance just perpetuates the fear and perpetuates the stress levels in your body, releases cortisol, a lot of cortisol in your body. So you're going to be stressed for a long time until you do something about it. And that something about it is now. Now. So literally 20 minutes, I'm recording this for 20 minutes. So 20 minutes ago, I became aware that I was experiencing whatever I was experiencing for the whole day or the whole afternoon. And I said, what does it take for me to stop feeling this way? And the answer is simple, is accept it. Accept it. Because accept that you are feeling that way. Because when you say no, 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 you're just pushing and pushing and pushing. And it just brings it closer to you, brings it closer to your present life. You want to push it to the past, you want to push it to the present, you want to push it God knows where, to the future. You just want to push it away from you, but the fact is that it just brings it closer to your reality, because you're always thinking about it and avoiding it. And so I thought, okay, now it's time to accept how I'm feeling, to accept, I don't know, I was even feeling not jealousy, I was feeling envy. That is it. Envy, because I was seeing these people on social media that I wanted to have their lives, but obviously we don't know what goes behind the scenes of their lives, right? And I was forgetting that I have a wonderful life that I can be grateful for. Even though I can have these moments where I'm tired, when I'm grumpy, when I'm hungry, and I can have these moments and accept them. Name the emotion, name the feeling that I'm experiencing. Because some people say that when you name the feeling or the emotion or the state, you give it power and you perpetuate it. I don't believe that. I believe that is the extreme opposite, because when you name something, you can almost dissociate it from it, because you are naming it as something outside of yourself. And so when I say I'm tired, or this is tired, I'm experiencing some tiring moments and tiring situations, this is just understanding it and accepting that you're tired and you're grumpy and you're um, hungry for that moment. And well, if you're hungry, you can eat, right? Hopefully, you can eat and stop feeling hungry. But feeling grumpy and whatnot, you can ask yourself, why is it that you're feeling that way and you're having these thoughts? And instead of asking it, how can I stop it? Ask, how can I accept it and move on? And that is what it's all about, letting go. Letting go is becoming aware of the feeling, emotion, thoughts, and then understand that is there and is there to stay until you stop believing it. And stop believing it comes when you accept it's there and you give yourself power to not accept the thoughts as true. And that way you can change it and you can reframe it. Because you don't have to take it as face value. It's not just because what your brain is saying, it doesn't mean that it's true, okay? So remember that your brain sometimes tricks you into believing something that is not true to protect you, okay? To protect your energy and to save up your energy in a way, because your brain doesn't want you to spend your energy crying or feeling sad, so it's just protecting you and giving the bad scenarios beforehand so that you can mentally prepare for what might be coming. But what might be coming usually never comes, so we have to become aware that it sometimes happens. Our brain tricks us and we can choose to believe it or not. And when we choose that, we are accepting the thought, accepting that it's there, and that way you don't feel the resistance, or at least you feel much less resistance to work on that thought, because basically you become best friends with your ego. Or to me, Georgina, so I become best friends with Georgina. I say, Georgina, I understand what you're going through. We are going to make it. You're safe with me. I love you. I protect you. And we are going to push through this and overcome it. And tomorrow or later on, you'll feel so much better. We will feel much, much better. And that is what it's all about, letting go. Just almost imagine like a beam of light, and the thought or the negative emotion, the intrusive thought, is like that beam of light that just passes your whole body and comes in, comes out, and it doesn't have any resistance in your body. And that way you'll experience your muscles not to be so tense, your breathing won't become so shallow, and you can relax much more, and you become with your mind much more clearer and much more calm. And so that is all that I really have for you. I hope it helps somehow. So just a recap: become aware of your thoughts, name them. If you even want to name your ego, it can be helpful for some people. Have a conversation with your ego. To me, is my Georgina. Be kind. Talk to them as if you're talking to your best friend, your mom, someone who you really love. So be extremely kind. Be patient as well. It doesn't happen like this, okay? It took me 5 months up until this point to be able to understand. And it still took me one whole afternoon to understand how I was feeling and just turn it around. So maybe to you it might take you a while, but keep doing it. It's absolutely worth it. And you can perpetuate your high points instead of your low. I was perpetuating my low points a lot. So now I'm catching myself much faster and more effectively. I'm reprogramming my brain in a much more effective way. And if this is something that you would like to do as well, reprogram your mind, understand that your thoughts can be false and it's in your power to believe them and change them. And if you're experiencing anxiety towards those thoughts, I will be very happy to help you get rid of them, get rid of the thoughts or get rid of the anxiety, and really give you some tools to help you to cope with it and um, stop feeling the resistance and really embrace what it is for what it is. Be kind with yourself. And if this is something that is interesting for you, definitely contact me on my Instagram. Again, I will leave all of the info in the show notes. So you can contact me on my Instagram, and we can discuss anything that you might be struggling with, any intrusive thought that you might be struggling. I would be happy to help, and I would be happy to share my journey with you, understand your journey, get to know you a little bit better, because that is what I really long for, that human connection. So yeah, that is all that I have for you today, and I will see you next time. Bye.